Come out to the bar.
Hello YouTube, cheers and welcome to The Basement. My name is Bruce Lively.
And I'm D-Boy Slim.
And The Basement is the first daily hip-hop debate show. From Tuesday through Friday, most times, we tackle the most intriguing topics in hip-hop culture and the world around it. If you missed us last Thursday and Friday, it's because I spent all my time planning for our cannabis health seminar for Saturday. We put up a live footage of it so you guys can see what we were doing. But just check it out, and we're back. Today's Tuesday. You might see this on Wednesday, but we're back. Welcome back, Basement family. Today is another Versus series where we take two artists, pit them head to head, and debate who wins in our minds using the criteria we choose. Today, we go with two of the West Coast finest right now, Vince Staples versus Nipsey Hussle.
Y'all already know what time it is. Let's get it.
With that being said, Lego.
We back.
Yeah, we back.
Oh, man.
A little bit late, people, but I think Vince Staples versus Nipsey Hussle, I'm not sure how much better a show can get than that. That's pretty banging.
Well, y'all said we don't get to the West Coast, so we don't do the West Coast. You're lying.
Or mistaken at best.
But I won't hold y'all. I'm wondering to myself, why I haven't heard a bit more noise being made about this Victory Lap album that Nipsey Hussle just dropped. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm really kind of confused at it. Like, maybe I missed something. I've heard the buzzes and people,
Can I tell you?
Barbershop talk here and there in the streets, I've heard, but for the type of quality album that this kid just dropped, the music that's involved in this album, A to Z, the content, which is something go ahead.
Not that I agree with you. I'm just saying, the main reason is because of where we live. I've heard from multiple sources every day, every hour, over there on the West Coast,
okay,
it's playing every day, every hour.
Alright, well then,
like 5-6 of his songs at a time.
We could be,
and so I think for some reason we have a divide over here.
We on East Coast time. We on East Coast time, but still and all. Like, I won't even. I don't find that to be a plausible excuse because of the fact,
I hear you.
When Kendrick drops his. And maybe because of the machine that's behind Kendrick, it is probably what I would say would maybe be the difference. But this is a classic album. I had to think about it long and hard before I said that, and when I came on the air and said that in front of a live camera. And I thought about it and I weighed it in my mind. This is if we're gonna call things a classic album anymore.
Wow.
This, my friend, is a classic album, and for various reasons. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna let you go ahead and let the people know who you felt is why you thought that who you got, Vince or Vince? You got Vince. You say I get it mixed up, but why you thought that Vince Staples
You're a funny guy. That's
and this at this particular time is better than Nip, but yeah, this is a classic that he just dropped. But let's see what you talking about with Staples over there.
Okay, before I get started, people, we got so many messages. You guys telling us that you love us, that this and that. YouTube is killing us, man. They're taking away views. They're messing up our algorithms. This is real. If you want to see live hip-hop, man, go to our Patreon page. Go to it, $2 a month. Let other people know that this matters to you, that it's entertaining for you. Now, I mean, I'm just serious. I'm very serious. Like, we can't support this anymore with the way that YouTube is messing us up. They're getting all the big channels out and the small channels being gone. And we won't be able to support this for long unless you guys show us that you love it. Okay, now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that your boy, Nipsey Hussle, isn't dead nice. Because that would be a lie. I'm the guy who enjoys something different and unique. When I say Vince Staples' Big Fish is a classic album, you won't realize it till 2020. That's the problem. That's the problem, is in 2020, when you go back and say, who had the sound that we have now, they're going to go back to Vince Staples' Big Fish and say, that's where it started. They're going to go back and say, man, well, who spoke eloquently about the black plight as well as being a Crip? They're going to find a few people. They may even mention Nipsey Hussle, but they're going to say Vince Staples. But they're going to say Vince Staples
okay.
was the one who did it.
All right.
Put their heart on their sleeve like Eminem, but came hard like Eazy-E. They're going to say Vince Staples did it. Now, Nipsey Hussle, the hustler, it's in the name. Man, trust me, I know the American flag, the logo, the fact of what he does for his community, it stands out. It stands out. Vince Staples does the same things, but his music and his raps and his beat choices, this album, Big Fish, and the mixtapes before then, it's, I mean, and without making any jokes, obviously we're being facetious here, but the truth is, I do believe when the future comes and they look back at how futuristic his beat choices are, how alternative he is, while still being grounded in the streets that he grew up, his videos being completely esoteric and artistic, while still being grounded in the drugs and infestation of his community and the leaving of his father and the abuse. Our culture in an advanced state is Vince Staples. He draws back to Eazy-E. He draws back to the Q's. He draws back to Snoop's. While all the while keeping the artistic level of his music above and beyond. I'm not saying Nipsey ain't nice. I'm not saying he isn't worth a look. I'm saying Vince Staples is that new. Vince Staples is that real and is that hotness that's going to change even hip-hop. Now, he has competition. All in the West Coast. Let's be real. West Coast, y'all been killing it. You got your Kendricks. Okay? I mean...
Facts.
We're killing it. Yeah, but... Go ahead. I mean, but that's what it is. Like they've been killing it. So to even choose two people...
Let me piggyback off that by saying that's a Fendi. That's a fact right there. Right now...
West Coast is that new.
I mean, you know... It was just a few months ago, everybody was trying to figure out, was that Kendrick Lamar album one of the best albums of all time?
Of all time.
With that being said, and I don't forget about, you know, you got the Mozzies out there for the young kids. What's the Don Kennedy, who was on Nipsey Hussle's A Victory Lap album. Don Kennedy, he's another one out of LA. Nice with his. He gets busy. With that being said, let me give a few reasons why this album is classic in my book. This guy, he goes past the surface of just talking about gang banging and what happens in the Crenshaw in LA. He goes far beyond that. He has a line where he says, they killed Dr. Sebi because he was teaching health. I mess with Rick Ross because he's teaching wealth. That line I felt to be so deep, and it resonated with me for several reasons. And this is part of the reason why I say this is a classic. Dr. Selby is someone obviously he wants you to get in tune with or be in touch with or have knowledge of or be informed about. He was said to have had a cure for AIDS at one time. He taught about eating, as far as how important eating is in your health, and how that goes hand in hand. But like I said, this is what to me hip hop was about, making you think, forcing you to think. When he says he messes with Rick Ross, people probably wonder why is he affiliated, or why, what's his association, or what's his connection with Rick Ross. He simply stated, I mess with him because he teaches wealth. If you look at Rick Ross's pattern as far as setting up wing stops and, employing people like Meek Mill and Wale, and, the whole design of running a business and being successful at it and being determined, this is all he raps about. And I mean from front to Z, and he says it in different fashions and in different ways over melodic music. Like, he changes the whole tempo of the game right now. I think he's changed, because where everything is that up tempo type of music, he goes back to the more conventional, if you will, West Coast sound of the MC8s and the Snoop Dogs, where it's laid back, you in your ride with it, and you're just thinking about the words he's saying on top of, like I said, the melodic music. And like I said, the music doesn't disappoint you. It's grown up, sophisticated, not that 1-2 bop. It's sophisticated music, and it's blessed by vocals such as CeeLo Green is on the album. He did. All
right, wait a minute. I've been quiet long enough. I'm listening
what
to
is it that you want to say.
What I'm saying is, you're saying that it's a classic album.
I'm just explaining to you why it is.
The verses, we're not an album review. The idea is, I feel you. I said that Big Fish was a classic album, but why Nipsey is better than Vince Staples is because of that one album? Because of that album that has
this definitely.
That's why
this trumps anything Staple has ever dropped.
That's false.
That's a fact.
That's false.
That's a fact.
That's false.
Y'all weigh in on that.
That's false.
This victory lap trumps anything a Vince Staple has ever dropped.
That's false.
Period. Point blank.
That's false. Not only was his last mixtape outstanding and fire, not only was this album outstanding and completely different and futuristic, that I also think is something you can listen to at the same time that has features on it from people that are recommended and respected. But the truth is, he raps better. He raps better. Listen to Farrakhan. He can also get as esoteric as you want him to. He can also get as political as you want him to, while still repping the blue flag. Listen to it. When he gets into it, it's not just the politics, and it's not just the blue rag in the streets, and it's not just the fact that his song Screen Door is about the relationship with his family and his father and his mother. It's not only about the plight of the black person in America, as well as especially on the West Coast. It's also he goes into things that Nipsey Hussle doesn't touch. It's also he goes into
enlighten me. What is he going to that Nipsey Hussle doesn't touch?
And what Nipsey Hussle doesn't touch is also the idea of being a superstar, and listen to me now.
I'm listening.
The idea of being a superstar and letting down the people that have put you on the pedestal. Are you kidding me? The Shakespearean. Call it that. This is a Greek play that he's putting in the form of rap.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a Baby Both the Fats and Supreme Lope on his team. That similar when Jay-Z says Tata. Or these guys that Jay-Z has employed that's from his neighborhood that knew that he grew up in 5B, they're businessmen now. They're moguls now. Okay. These are guys. This is what he's rapping. Like, this is what Nipsey is rapping. There's a distinction.
What's that to do with what I
There's
just
a
said?
distinction because one trumps the other. You're saying that
No, that's not a trump the other.
Yeah, it does trump the other.
It's just a different story.
You're teaching us the design on how to be a successful black businessman, and you're saying one is talking about he let us down, the people that let us down as superstars.
It's an introspective Shakespearean story.
One trumps the other. I get
Doesn't
the concept.
trump the other. It's just different.
I get the concept.
I know you get the concept.
I get the concept.
How's
but
it trump
the
the other?
content I'm speaking about
two
is a
different
bit
apples
more
and
important.
oranges.
We don't need that. You just follow the Nipsey blueprint. He'll tell you how to get that.
And then you have to know how to handle it when you get
have
there.
your own store in the community.
You have to know how to handle it when you get
Staples
there.
Can't tell me that.
That's the problem. Is when we got it, some people didn't know how to handle
tell
it,
me
and
that.
he did. That's what that whole thing is about. Is how to understand it and how to handle
The
it
fact that
when you do get it.
excited shows me you can't handle it.
No, get out of here. Get out of here. So you're not excited? It's a show. It's entertainment.
And that's what we talking about.
This is entertainment. Get out of here.
This is what Nip has taught me.
It's what. Get out of here.
This is what Nip has taught me.
Get out of here.
You don't
Listen,
have
I
to
have a
get
small cold, P. We gotta excuse me.
You don't have to get excited.
Listen, man. The truth is, so the only reason why you're not excited because you came late to the viewing again, brother. How about that fact? If you would have listened to Vince Staples, you probably come early. How about that?
See how people get mad? You gotta listen to Nip, y'all. That victory lap.
Who wins? I know we went over, man. This was only supposed to be like a 15-minute show. It's probably like 20, I guess.
Y'all know, West Coast, all y'all that follow the West Coast, what y'all checking? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Right down there in the comments. We need you people. I'm going to say it again. I usually don't do it. Patreon. They're taking away your show. If you love this show like you say you do, like I know you do, like the comments you leave, go to the Patreon page. Team Box Cutter, people.
No doubt.
It's time that we can't support this show. We can't do it like we do without a little bit of support. $2 a month is all we ask. And right now it's time for the comments and the shout-outs.
And leave in the comments, who would y'all like to see as verse?
Yeah, next verse is series. Who y'all like to think?
Bruce is always getting on me about I don't never go beyond the surface as far as digging out the underground or the unheard of rappers or whatever. Who y'all?
Am I wrong?
You know who we haven't covered or who should we be checking for out there?
Excuse
Let
me,
us
guys.
know.
I have a slight cold. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Come on, y'all know it. So we have a new subscriber, Ricky Gerard. Ricky Gerard, appreciate you, man. All new subscribers. Tell your friends, share it. Subscribe, everybody else. Let y'all know what it is. Toot Pacino said he ready for that interview. Then he left the link. We haven't seen your video yet. But on that same note, thank you, Toot Pacino. Thank you, Abdul Mimon. Thank you, Lisa Parker. Everybody who watches this show. But on that note, this Friday, we're going to have the first interview with the first person who's basically won the day. We've been telling y'all to leave comments for a chance to get an interview. This Friday will be the first one of those. We're going to announce it tomorrow as to who that is. And you guys, please continue to leave those comments. Subscribe. Thank you, Ricky Gerard. Thank you, Zinski Tomey. Thank you, Lisa Parker. And that's it.
That's it. We off this.
Peace.